Hello, good people. Welcome to the June 2026 Scroll Report, featuring me, Tony MacFarlane, and my special guest, Richard A. Walker. We're gonna scroll back through the month of June to see if there's anything worth keeping. June was packed with celebration for pretty much the whole country. Myself, I went on vacation in the beginning of June to Cape Cod and did some sightseeing up in the New England area. I also spent Juneteenth at the Harriet Tubman Underground Railroad National Park in Dorchester, Maryland. Seeing the exhibits at that national park was a life-changing experience. So, that said, let's get on with Boom Scroll and Doom Scroll. And of course, the first Boom Scroll has to go out to those New York Knicks. On June 13th, the New York Knicks won Game 5 of the final series against the San Antonio Spurs to clinch the NBA title for the first time since 1973. I gotta disclose that I started out the rooting for San Antonio. Wembanyama, he was incredible all through the playoffs. So I can't really share in the righteous joy that New York City's feeling, but I'm getting some of that from them, and I am feeling so good from it. Here's a boom scroll for Ohio Congresswoman Joyce Beatty, who led the effort to have the Trump name removed from the Kennedy Center. Congresswoman Beatty sat on the board of the Kennedy Center, and during a December 2025 call where this motion was made to rename the Kennedy Center, she was muted and then deemed ex officio, along with other people who would have voted against this measure. Nevertheless, Beatty asserted that only Congress has the right to change the name of the Kennedy Center, and subsequently sued in federal court to block this change. Well, on May 29th, a federal judge ruled in her favor, ruling that Trump's name must be removed from the Kennedy Center, and it was promptly taken down by June 13th. This action is a reminder that there are checks and balances still in place against an authoritarian leadership. This victory may be small, but it is meaningful. I want to throw out a boom scroll to Virginia Task Force One, who has always been a rapid response group facing disasters. They're down in Venezuela right now, and they were one of the first people to hit the ground. And I was really happy to know that they're from the local area, and they were instrumental in some of the first rescues that we've been seeing on film. One other thing that's really weird about them is that while this Task Force One was heading to Venezuela, somebody set fire to their main office here in Virginia. They're still investigating whether it was a arson attempt or not, but there's still a lot of questions. They've lost about $1 million worth of equipment in this fire, so kind of a doom scroll on top of a boom scroll.
Yeah, yeah. So the no good deed goes unpunished kind of thing, That's ridiculous. They're doing good work out there. Gonna
Well,
have to hit
yeah,
through that.
they're doing good work. And I'm really hoping that it's not a nefarious purpose behind whatever happened.
Yes, the old cynic eye is starting to wonder here. My crinkled brow is wondering. I got you. I hope so too. Are you ready for a boom scroll moment for the Obama Center? It officially opened on June 19th. The location is in Chicago, but it's the south side of Chicago in an area that desperately needed revival. The center is actually a campus. It's actually a 19-acre campus. So it's a huge area in this downtown area, and the skyline. Oh, it's magnificent. They were showing me pictures of it. The beauty of it is how it connects the community. And the reason why we're excited about it is because it's multifaceted. People can come and leave their own stories. People can join to get connected with other civic groups, community groups, political groups. It's just a general meeting place, which is what the Obama's message is. Come together, talk, and converse, and see what we can do to make things better. But it's become a real anchor, not only for the community there, but for bringing people in, investors in, people in. So it's got a multifaceted impact on the lives of the people there in Chicago. The beautiful thing about it is that's really not making a lot of the news is the intentionality behind it, which was to take a section of Chicago that was suffering, trying to transform it into something that became a magnet. It's funny how the developers came in and got involved in the process. But more importantly, it's basically setting a foundation for that community there. So what happens when you start doing that? You get the speculators come in. So all of a sudden they had a growth of Airbnb type of persons purchasing properties in that area. The people that are living there are having a hard time because everything's getting more expensive in terms of their costs. The rents are going up, yada, yada, yada. So it's like everything else. There's a pro and a con to it. But the overall effect has been just fantastic in terms of what people are saying about it, and it being a multifaceted center, not just focusing on the accomplishments of the administration, but also about linking groups. And so it has a community bent and a national community bent in terms of the people that are supporting it. And of course, as soon as that came out, there's no coincidence that we end up finding out that, okay, there's Fox News starts publishing stories about, oh, we got contractors that haven't gotten paid. Well, the project is an $850 million project.
Hey, Richard, I've got a boom scroll for Myron J. Clifton. Mr.
Mhm.
Clifton has pointed out in one of his TikToks how the way the White House looks right now, that is white culture. That if you go, like anyone who takes pride in being in white culture gets away with trashing their neighborhoods. So I really like that Myron Clifton is keeping tabs on this and calling it what it is.
Hey, I've got a boom scroll for you. This is a shout out for the Sheldrick Trust Foundation. They're known for animal conservation. Um, this particular case shows a caregiver, if you will, for an elephant that apparently its elderly parents passed away. And the picture was just great. The guy's just chilling, and the elephant just kind of came up and just chilled right beside him. I thought it was a great shot. On the doom side of it, in the Texas GOP, their unity elephant couldn't quite hold it or didn't want to hold it, kind of let nature flow, and turned out he peed on the convention floor of the GOP convention there. So it just seemed to me a perfect metaphor for the Texas Republican Party convention because everybody's talking about all the issues they're having. So I think the elephant kind of let them know how he felt about it all.
Speaking of metaphors for the way the country works, I have a doom scroll for the DC reflecting pool.
Ooh.
The reflecting pool of the Washington Monument was looking okay to begin with, but our president decided that it needed to look better and ended up with a $14 million makeover that suddenly went to shit, almost literally. Since that case,
Guess you
however,
couldn't have blamed Obama for
the
that one, huh?
Governor Tim Walz tweeted that this reflecting pool disaster is the perfect metaphor for what the country is currently going through. President responded that the damage to the reflecting pool was the result of vandalism and Antifa attacks. Ended up arresting a former Olympic swimmer who just claimed to have just put his hand in the water. The National Park Service did come out and support the president, saying that the liner was cut. So vandalism may have occurred, but the way I see it, even so, this is still a reflection on the poor job the administration is doing. If they're at such a point where people are so eager to undo the work that he's doing, even if it's beneficial, what does that say about you?
Exactly. And meanwhile, he's been cutting funding for the National Park Service.
Here's a boom scroll to the sports salt mine for starting the trend of showing visitors to the United States for the World Cup games just how they react to being in America. It's really good, lighthearted content that was soon spread out quite a bit, including people marveling at Buc-ee's and Walmart, to tasting chicken and waffles and ranch. Don't forget the ranch. It did help me feel a little bit better about the good things we have here that we can share with others, and that the open heart we do share with our neighbors. It's a shame that the powerful men can't act like ordinary Americans sometimes. So, a doom scroll for Andrew Giuliani. Yeah, that Giuliani. After federal immigration authorities barred a Somali FIFA World Cup official from entering the United States, this guy responded to CBS News on June 15th. In the case of the referee, he was talking about some really bad people right as he was coming into the United States. There's some classified information we can't discuss now. At some point that may be released. Well, I'm gonna have to tell people like this, barring one of the world's top soccer officials just because he's Somali is not gonna keep the global South from beating the global North's butt in the World Cup. USA is doing pretty good, but banning best male referee of 2025 isn't gonna help them tilt the field in their favor. And lastly, another World Cup doom scroll to the Tartan Army. Scotland soccer fans who visiting Boston from June 11th through 14th drank the city dry. The parent company of Sam Adams said its Boston tap room ran out of the brand's flagship Boston Lager over the weekend because Scotland soccer fans in Boston for the World Cup drank 4 times as much as the bar usually sells. We've never seen anything like it, said Billy Duquesne of Sam Adams' Boston tap room, whose accent could not be confirmed. Oh, this just in. Breaking doom scroll for the Science of Identity Foundation, an offshoot branch of the Hare Krishna movement. Its leader, Jagadguru Siddhaswarapananda Paramhansa, who, in a startling Washington Post expose, has been alleged to be a literal Svengali to the former Director of National Intelligence, Tulsi Gabbard, for her entire political career. You know, I had my eyes set so closely on the criminal activities of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, or ISKCON, that I was completely blindsided by this Science of Identity Foundation that Paramhansa formed, breaking away from ISKCON, in the same way that we've been so focused on the billionaire technocrats who are trying to take over our government rather than the religious fanatics, or the right religious fanatics, or I don't know.
Hello, everyone. I'm pleased to bring you this Jamie Davis update. Jamie Davis, the sharecropper son and farmer we spoke of in our last scroll report, has won the Democratic primary for Senate in Louisiana. Jamie is the first Black U.S. Senate campaign finalist in Louisiana since the Reconstruction era. His GOP opponent will be Julia Letlow, a Trump-endorsed candidate. The statewide election will occur on November 2026. The GOP will attempt to leverage Democratic voter fatigue on what has been a drawn out and expensive runoff campaign. Because low turnout usually means the status quo stays in play, and this is traditionally a red state. We have a new generation of progressive leaders who are stepping up and stepping in to take their place in the Democratic Party tent. Please take the time to learn about this new generation of progressive candidates. They are emerging everywhere throughout the country. Support the one or ones that resonate with you. Help them grow, help them win. Many of them do not take PAC money. Thank you.
And now we come to might as well yell at the sky. So June 2026 was chock-a-block full of highly anticipated sports actions. Not only the 2026 USA Special Olympics, the NBA and NHL drafts, the WNBA Commissioner's Cup, the US Open Golf Championship, and Wimbledon, which is currently going on. There was also an Ultimate Fighting Championship cage match on the grounds of the White House on Sunday, June 19th. Ordinarily, I'd be part of the 16% of US adults who think that this might be appropriate. It might be some fun to watch some people duking it out on the old White House grounds. Why not? I was looking for a good time, hoping to see some major upsets or something like that. And I saw Josh Hokit. With his own memories hanging out, he said into a microphone being held by millionaire Joe Rogan, former First Lady Michelle Obama is a man. Really, Hokit? Really? We all know why Hokit trotted out this tired old sawback mule, don't we? No, it wasn't just to butter up his dear leader on his 80th birthday. It's because they secretly want Michelle Obama as president, and they don't know any other way to rile her up. You see, ever since Obama insulted Donald Trump at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2015, the game of politics has been played differently. Now the idea is to insult your opponent and then when you win against them, get revenge on them. That's what deplorables like Josh Hokit and others who perpetuate these vile memes are really trying to do. They've really got a secret crush on Michelle Obama and want her to be president as much as I do. But the former First Lady isn't gonna run no matter how much you goad her. Because I suspect she knows as well as I do that as good as it sounds, we're simply not gonna just vote our way out of this mess. And now it's time for Scroll Bits. In music news, Yes has a new album out, Aurora. Yes, that Yes, whose only original member is Steve Howe. His guitar is felt all over this album. And of course Roger Dean, who designed the album cover. Listening to Aurora leaves me feeling a little wanting. I mean, the music is good. It's like a product and not an artwork. On the other hand, I've been getting a lot of heavy rotation off of Goose's Big Modern. I'm not sure where I first heard Goose. I think it was opening for some kind of Grateful Dead cover band, jam band kind of festival thing. But all I know is that they have really stepped into their soul with Big Modern. It's a lot of straight ahead rock and roll that you wouldn't expect from a hoity-toity flighty jam band. Short songs such as Media, Pop, and Good Time End Times could have easily been a top 40 song in the 80s. And longer songs such as Salt and Good to Be go to some really interesting places. Goose on Big Modern remind me more of the incredible string cheese incident than any other of these kinds of bands. So if that's up your alley, then I highly recommend Big Modern for you. And in art news, a painting by Njideka Okunle Crosby, The Obamas Springing Forth, was debuted June 14th at the Obama Presidential Center Library dedication. This is one spectacularly beautiful painting, and in my opinion, makes painting relevant again. It invokes symbolism without techniques of the past. It hints at a meta, but there's no meta there. Just our former president and former first lady's souls laid bare. By the way, there's one photo from this People magazine story on the Obama Presidential Center Library dedication that sums up exactly why America loves Obama so much. And that is this picture right here. Who is former President Obama looking on with such admiration and awe? Not himself first, but his wife. And that is why we love him. We know Obama always put others before himself. Franco-Swiss artist Sape created a grass mural in Minneapolis in June, part of his Beyond Walls series. This 310 by 75 foot ground mural stretches across the entire width of Minneapolis's Boom Island Park. It's painted with biodegradable materials that the artist has been developing over time, designed to gradually fade as elements and occasional mowing run their course. During the first weekend in June, hundreds of residents turned out to see the work in progress and linked together in a human chain to demonstrate solidarity, resilience, and togetherness. Maybe because there was so much else happening in June, the TV seemed really terrible. I was eagerly looking forward to the new season of Sugar, but it quickly got depressing and lonely. I only watch House of the Dragon because of some kind of sunk cost fallacy going on. Cape Fear was just long and drawn out. Hey, if you've seen some good TV in June, let me know. I'm dying to catch something nice. In legal news, relations between the African American and Asian communities were stressed even further this month by two high-profile verdicts. On June 1st, a South Carolina jury found store owner Chike Rick Chow not guilty of murder for killing 14-year-old Cyrus Carmack Belton in the back after chasing him from his convenience store in Columbus. Subsequently, an anonymous TikToker, who has since taken his post down, pretty much dared the black community to boycott the Asian community, sowing much more strife and division into this stress. I personally took a lot of solace from political commentator J.S. Candid's take on this issue. She reminded us that the Black and Asian communities have always stood shoulder to shoulder in the fight for civil rights, and all the benefits of the fight that Black people have had to make in this country have been to the benefit of our Asian brothers and sisters as well, and that any effort to divide the Black and Asian communities has only benefited the dominant culture perpetrating this division in the first place. The perfect example being affirmative action. Then, a week later, the Black community was dealt another blow with the conviction and sentencing of 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony by an all-white jury for the murder of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. Meanwhile, in Europe, on June 15th, The Oslo District Court convicted Norway's Crown Princess Mette Marie's son, 29-year-old Marius Borg Høiby, of 2 counts of rape and sentencing him to prison for 4 years, leaving more evidence that there are some Western nations that don't mollycoddle powerful predators. And in science news, tip of the hat to Roger Pierce for sending me this story. Researchers from Cornell University have discovered a hive of between 3 million and 8 million ground nesting bees living beneath East Lawn Cemetery in Ithaca, New York. This discovery could be the largest aggregation of native bees ever found. And apparently this huge host of pollinators have been a boon to local agriculture for more than a century. And in gaming news, Blizzard Entertainment has sued to take down another private World of Warcraft server, and this time Project Ascension, accusing Project Ascension of Digital Millennium Copyright Act violations and other claims that Project Ascension is a lucrative way to exploit and profit from the popularity of the WoW game experience. As of now, Project Ascension is still up, but I don't know for how much longer. And in tech news, the company that brought back the Commodore 64 is bringing back the flip phone with the Commodore callback. Remember when the future of tech was exciting? When it promised to serve us, not enslave us? Smartphones? Too smart. Dumb phones? Too dumb. Commodore built the phone in between. Does everything you want, nothing you don't. Oh, but it's Android. Well. It looks like hacker Maya Arson Crime W exposed a secretive society run by Peter Thiel, alleging to have more than 200 of the world's elites register for a retreat whose agenda runs from panels on cult building to sex to prepping for World War III. Apparently, all of these elites forgot to put an index.html file in one of their web directories, which exposed a whole tranche of documentation for Maya Arson Crime W. And here's a word salad I never thought I'd see. Gaming PC saves owner from bullet fired by neighbor's dog. That was Reddit. Tom's Hardware has a better headline. Gaming PC deflects bullet shot through wall by neighbor, saving owner's life. Criminal negligence charges for culprit who claims firearm was accidentally discharged by her dog. And now we come to Memento Mori. British pop art icon David Hockney, known for his colorful landscapes and hyperreal portraits, passed away at the age of 88 on June 5th. Over a 7-decade career, he continued painting up until his last days.
Hello, everyone. I'm here to pay homage to Cape Town, South Africa, jazz icon Abdullah Ibrahim, aka Dollar Brand. Abdullah passed away on the 15th of June, 2026, at the age of 91. Abdullah was especially known for his composition, Menenberg. This was a jazz piece that became known as the anti-apartheid national anthem. The late Nelson Mandela declared Abdullah the South African equivalent of Mozart. Abdullah was a renowned musician, composer, and band leader who played piano, saxophone, and cello, and had numerous connections and collaborations with the likes of Duke Ellington, Don Cherry, Ornette Coleman, John Coltrane, Archie Shepp, among many, many others. Honorable mentions in terms of his albums included Water from an Ancient Well, circa 1986, and The Wedding, via the album African River in 1989. As I listened to Abdullah, on the NPR Tiny Desk Home Concert, which is perfect because it's a nice intimate setting, I could feel that Abdullah's supreme love was music. Abdullah was the founding member of the South African late 50s post-bop jazz ensemble called Jazz Apostles. Peace and blessings to you, Abdullah. Your music brought change to South Africa and to the world. I ask everyone to please take a quiet moment and listen to him on NPR's Tiny Desk. Hello, everyone. I'm here to pay homage to Peabo Bryson. He passed away in June 2nd, 2026, at the age of 75. Peabo was known for his stirring ballads, in particular duets. In 1991, his duet for the title song of the Disney film Beauty and the Beast became a massive, massive hit. People also sang with other songsters like Roberta Flack, Regina Bell, and Cicely Houston. So yes, indeed, Peabo was the man you heard in that song. Peabo was the 8-time Grammy nominee. He won 2 Grammy Awards, as mentioned, for Beauty and the Beast and for the theme song to Aladdin, which was entitled The Whole New World. On his song, A Whole New World, which he sang with Regina Bell, he was the first artist to make a top Billboard 100 for an animated film. Later, in 1992, Peabo sang that duet with Regina Bell at the first South African beauty pageant that omitted Black Africans. Some of the other songs that Peabo had were Feel the Fire, If Ever in My Arms Again, and his classic with Roberta Flack, Tonight I Celebrate My Love. For me, Peabo made sure that when I turned those lights down low, it was game on. I let him do the singing and lead the way. I invite everyone to take a listen to Peabo. He had over 18 albums to his credit. Enjoy, enjoy, and enjoy. Thank you.
And there you have the Scroll Report for June 2026. I hope there was something you liked. Throw a thumbs up if there was. Much thanks to Richard A. Walker for his contributions. If you have something to contribute to the Scroll Report, contact me at TonyMacFarlane.com. All the same, thanks for your eyes, and we'll see you next month, God willing. In the meantime, have the best July 2026 ever. Bye.